Hi folks, welcome back to Waygate Technologies. Dan here again for the Kraut-Kramer RotoArray comPAct. And in today's episode, we're going to take a look at time-corrected gain. So it allows us to equalize gain for the same size reflector at different depths. I've already gone ahead and set up my instrument to be working with steel. We're going to use this for our setup today. This is a demonstration plate that we had made up with some indications for corrosion and defects occurring both in the middle of the part, on thinner material and thicker material, and so on. As part of that, we have a number of steps milled into the block, the width of our probe. We're going to use the 5mm, 7.5, 10, and 15 millimeter thicknesses of the plate to do our calibration. Now, before I go through the actual calibration, I need to do a little bit of setup. So if I click on my eScan and on the procedure menu, we'll clear that message at the top for the moment. We're going to do a multi-step calibration. We're going to calibrate 4 points. So we tell it how many steps we're going to look at, how many points we're going to use in our calibration. Then we'll select our first point, and I've already told it that the first point is going to be at 5 millimeters thickness. Go to our second point. Second point is going to be at 7.5. The third point, 10 millimeters, and the fourth point will be at 15 millimeters thickness. So I've told it where to expect during the calibration, the depths to expect for the steps that we're going to look at. Put that back to point 1. Okay, we're ready to start our calibration. I hit the cal button once. It says I want to set up on my point 1. And I remember that's at 5 millimeters. I make sure I'm centered up on the step. I hit calibrate. And you notice the instrument adjusted the gains on the different beams to get an even amplitude the whole way across, and recorded that. I'm going to narrow my gate a little bit. It's telling me to go to point 2. So I move over to my 7.5 millimeters. Hit calibrate. It recorded that. I'm ready to go to my third step. Move out here to 10 millimeters. Now you notice I'm a little bit off to the side with my sector view. The steps in the plate are only as wide as the probe is wide. So I've slid just a little bit to the right. Move my probe a hair back to the left. And I should be ready to go. Hit calibrate. And now I've recorded 3 points so far. I have one more to go. It's moved the gate out to get my 15 millimeter step. Okay. Need a little bit more couplant. There we go. Much more even 15 millimeter step. And calibrate one last time. So we have point 4 recorded. We've gotten all 4 points for our TCG. And now each one of those steps should appear at the same amplitude, same 80%. So there's 15, there's 10, 7.5, and 5. With our time-corrected gain curve recorded, we're ready to do a scan. So I'll hit the start button on the RotoArray, run down the length of the block, do stop, and now we can take a look at our scan. So just doing a quick analysis, my overview C-scan here on the top is an amplitude view. So if I look through that, each one of those steps is going to come out to be about the same amplitude. They are actually saturated. The bottom C-scan here is a time of flight C-scan. So again, if I move the crosshairs along, I can easily see my steps in thickness. And out in this area, let's zoom in here a little bit. This is a notch that runs across, coming up to about 12 millimeters from the full thickness of 15. So we can see that notch pop up. On the B scan, we're looking in from the edge, so it looks just like the simple notch. We can see our step back here. If I select across the block that way, here we can very easily see on the B scan the steps and that notch coming up from the back surface. And these are all appearing, each one of the steps is appearing at the same amplitude on the screen. And again, that's coming from our time-corrected gain curve, having equalized that reflector at various steps. Thank you for joining me today. If you'd like to learn more, the best place to reach out is your local Waygate field sales engineer or local channel partner. They will be able to assist you in quotes and demos. If you have technical questions, please send an email to remoteservice@bakerhughes.com and we will get an answer to you as quickly as possible. For software and updates to the instrument and documentation, please check out the InspectionWorks public store. That's www.inspectionworks.com. And under all products, look for the RotoArray comPAct. And you can also visit our Waygate webpage by scanning the QR code shown on the screen here. And that will give you other information and other links to get you help. So again, thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully this was helpful, and we will see you in the next installment.